What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to Frostpunk, where we are dealing with some problems, but that number of problems is diminishing. We've managed to keep ourselves ahead of the heat curve right now, which I think is very, very good. We had some rocky beginnings at the start of this playthrough, but it's looking better now than it was before. I'm thinking bunkhouses are a really good idea, but I don't know if I should be applying to get it. I don't know if I should go for tier 3 first, or if I should focus on the bunkhouses. I don't know. Like, it could go either direction for me, and I don't really care which one we do. I mean, we could make it happen either way. I think our food supply is good enough to where I could upgrade the food, maybe. I think that might be one of our only things left over right now that's given us kind of a negative. They don't have the heaters on right there. Consumption is still net positive. We want to start preparing for jumping up to tier 3, though, because as you can see right there, we've got a fairly major issue coming our way, and we want to get to overdrive couplings down here before that happens. And if we can't get to overdrive couplings, it's going to be a bad time for everybody involved. They've got steam cores and coal. There's nobody on the weather station, but everything seems to be operational. We could try to find out what the scientists from Winterhome were working on. Sure. We found the scientists' notes. They predict that a great cold is going to get much worse. What's more troubling is that the observations ended abruptly months ago. There's also not a can of Spam, not even a crumb of bread left in the pantry. As a Hawaiian, I am just deeply upset about the lack of Spam inside of this place. It's obvious that they've moved out for good. We can see the city of Winterhome from the roof of the weather station. Grab the resources. Go to the coal mine, because this is going to be important for us pretty soon. The recent report from the weather station has got people talking. They're frightened that such an important facility was apparently abandoned. Some are starting to wonder whether the evacuation from London was a good idea. A few are lamenting openly. I knew we shouldn't have come. At least London had real houses, not tents and wooden shacks. Well, I mean, we're working on it. Okay, so the Londoners are going to get some more people right now. Ain't that some shit? What I can do about that is we can put in a house of prayer over here. That one's only getting the ones on the edges. Whereas if I go right there and maybe we build backwards, that house of prayer was kind of pointless, wasn't it? Can I fit a house of prayer over here anywhere? I can rotate like that. I can get one in right there. Well, good. Put one in right there and then bulldoze that one. I'll get the resources back at least slightly. I don't think there's a reason to hold on to too many of them. There we go. A little bit more hope to push us on back up. We made an unpopular decision. I think that was the decision that we made. I don't know what the unpopular decision was that I made. I'll be honest, I wish it told you what the unpopular decision was that you made, but I just don't have that information right now. Level 2, working on up to level 2 research so that we can get factories with prosthetics so we can get some workers back and make that happen, Captain. Sounds good to me. They're only chilly over here, which isn't too bad. We'll get some sick absences, but hey, it is what it is. Sir, we're holding an evening of prayer this afternoon. Plenty of people are here. They're praying, but also talking and laughing. I haven't seen anything this heartening in our city in a very long time. It's really brought the community together. Good. I'm glad to hear it. We've got another day or so until we can run another prayer streak to offset the inevitable bad things that are going to happen around here. I've got a minute until we can get that done, which is... Wish we could get it done right now, but oh well. Dreams and wishes were loaves and fishes. Everybody would be the savior. I think that, looking okay over there. Another heat hub would be nice. Maybe we'll cut it off in this direction, put a heat hub, like, in this region to help out slightly, like one right there, so that it gets both of these facilities. Then we can kick off the heaters on each of these, because the heaters are adding up. We'll get rid of 2 heaters, but we'll get a steam hub. So we'll be net plus 24 per day if we do that. But it'll allow us to build some more things over here too. Maybe. Food doesn't look like it's on an upsurge right now. It looks like it's more or less even. Yeah, so we're losing about 40 food a day. That means I can probably get away with another hunter's hut over here somewhere. In the meantime, I think a good way to retrofit is to get rid of that road right there, then rebuild it right here. We're still losing a little bit of space in that little gap right there, but not as much as we would be losing. I need to get my hope back up, and I need to get my hope back up like right now. A few more shrines might do it, and that's probably the cheapest way to make it happen. This shrine out here is affecting all that stuff. We don't have any shrines on the coal mines right now. Alright, put up another shrine right here to increase productivity. And then put up another steam hub right here. It's got a little bit of overlap. It's got a lot of overlap, actually. There's no way for me to get both of these places without the overlap. Ugh. I'm a fan of making sure that these are always efficient in the amount of space that they're using versus like what we're accomplishing. And so we might be better off to put one right there and just upgrade to heaters too. Possibly. I don't know. If I could kick the heaters off at both of those places though, it's honestly, it's gonna save us a little bit. Like, it's a waste, but it's not the worst waste we've ever seen. So drafting machines is done. That means I can get overdrive couplings, which we're absolutely gonna need before this event right here. Overdrive couplings means that I can double the heat when I overdrive the engines on everything, and it'll help out a little bit. Hunters are going out to gather what they're going to gather. The scouts have arrived at a coal mine. The coal mine is automated. Its engine is pressurized, but the mining has stopped. The snow around it is untrodden, and eerie silence hangs in the air. This coal mine was in operation until very recently. The machinery isn't running now, but there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it. Perhaps the mine simply extracted its quota or filled the loading bay. We could retrieve plenty of raw materials if we took the machinery apart. Don't do that. Don't do that. I know it's tempting because they're going to give you a whole bunch of stuff, but if you do that, it's really going to screw you over later because you can set this up. You can do an away team, and the away team will gather 100, or they'll get 800 coal a day from that location. So keep that in mind, like legitimately. Go over to Winterhome, get that done. We're going to do a big loop around to make things happen. Coal consumption's looking good. These guys are now heated up. I mean, I guess the other option I could have gone for is to see if the radius increase on these would help out, but I just don't think it would have really made that big of a tangible difference. These places are now warm. They don't require heaters anymore. Checking through and making sure you don't have the heaters on in any places where you don't need to have the heaters on is a pretty effective strategy that I recommend. We're going to have to push this out a little bit further pretty soon anyways. We only got 150 wood left. So I'm going to let them just be cold for a little while. The writing on the wall. Captain, somebody has defaced the walls with predictions of doom for our city. It's troubling. People already fear that we'll share Winterhome's fate, and scared minds are swayed by even the smallest nudges. Alright, send a cleric to reassure people so that we end up with less hope lost. We're still going to lose a little bit, but we'll fix that tomorrow. Alright, a new law is on the books. With the new law, we can go with the temple, we can go with the faith keepers. I think the temple is a really, really good idea. This will allow Londoners to occasionally mend their ways, and then we also get a new ability, Ceremonial Service, which raises hope and comforts discontent. We do have to build the temple, though, if we do this, so bear that in mind. It's not crazy important right now, but it is important, and we do want to get it done. So research is going through on overdrive couplings. We're going to need that for that heat, or that cold wave right there. That cold wave is kind of your first warning that a big one is coming. So you get this one. You have 2 days where it's super cold and everybody's miserable. And then it goes back up. And then it drops by 3 like 2 days after that. And so basically it's a warning shot from the game being like, yo, you need to fix this right now or bad things are going to happen to you. We can build the temple right this second. It's got heating level 3. It's a passive building, so it doesn't really matter that it's heated or anything like that. We can basically drop it wherever we want to drop it. I think we'll put it right here. So there's our temple. It's going to cost us a lot of resources to do the temple. Another thing to keep in mind. But it's a good building, and it gives you abilities that are really good. See right there? Look how much hope we just got. And so that'll actually keep us on the uptick. It's got a new ability right here. And so 20 food rations, and we can do that. Hope goes up, and we're getting to the point now. If we can get to the P right there, Londoners will start to leave. Research couplings are done. Improved heaters are going to be required for that. Generator efficiency, though, is too good to walk away from. That'll save us 10% coal. And since we're doing 1205 a day, that saves us 120, or never mind. It'll save us 100 coal a day, which is actually really, really good. We want that. We also need to upgrade our coal storage at one point or another today. Otherwise, we're going to suffer long term. When they arrive with this big grip of coal that they've got in their inventory, when they get back, it's going to screw us over, but Oh, for right now we can go in on that too. Go for a slight hopeful sermon real fast. And then I'm going to wait until I find out where our food is at before I do anything else crazy. I don't think I ever assigned anybody. Oh, I did assign somebody to that one back there. I didn't think that I did. We should have 60 food a day coming in, which I think will come out to, for 5 rations for every 2, like 150 a day. We climbed to the edge of the city and stood there speechless, staring at the scene of devastation. It's a city of the dead. Most of the buildings are destroyed and the generator has exploded. The streets of the ruined city are littered with scores of dead bodies. The City Chronicle describes the shortage of food and citizens' increasing despair. The following squabbles, riots, and descend into anarchy. Fights for dwindling resources and the eventual starvation. The last entry, God forgive us, we're eating our dead. There is no hope. Have them rest in peace, I guess. That's all we can do. There's a hole in a cliff right over here. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the side of the cliff. It's only 11 hours to go over there, so you might as well. Go over there and pick some people up. See if we can get some extra people to join us here in our little city. We've got 1 day left until the weather gets a whole lot worse. But I think we'll be alright. We can do evening prayers right here to get rid of some Londoners and raise hope. But I'm watching my food very carefully to see what happens. We still have some workers left over. So we can do another Hunter's Lodge if we need to. When they get back with steam cores, we can bulldoze 2 of these and put in one of the hothouses, if that's what we want to do. Yeah, I'm going to put you... Actually, let's prepare tonight for tomorrow. How about that? Let's be a little bit ahead of the curve here. I can bulldoze that road. We can take a road out to right here. And then we can build another sawmill right here. Perfect. And we're actually just going to bulldoze this guy right now so that it's done. And so that tomorrow we can put people on the jobs that they need to do in order to get things finished off. Another act of vandalism. The Londoners have defaced more walls, urging everyone to join them and abandon the city. The graffiti even mocks your leadership, branding you an unfit leader capable of doing what it takes to work. I work out every day! I work out constantly. The last thing you can say about me is that I look like I ate a basketball. Like, I work out every day, son. I work out every day. These people spreading falsities. As captain, a cleric was assaulted whilst trying to reassure people disturbed by the Londoners' slogans. We should do something to protect our people. Let's go ahead and 3 days to establish the Faith Keepers. Let's pray for him and his assailants, I guess. So there goes a little bit more hope to help us recover from the big hit that we just took right there. If you don't know who the Faith Keepers are, they're basically war clerics, like Warhammer 40k style war clerics that go out and fight with the Londoners in the middle of the city, and like they whip them and everything. It's pretty grimdark, bro. It's pretty grimdark. Go ahead and turn up the heat right there. People regain hope. For the first time, Londoners have failed to persuade anybody to abandon our city and flee to London. People are recovering from their shock at the news of Winterhome and starting to hope for the future. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Let's go ahead and drop a new Steam hub out here. Well, I don't know if I should just let them be cold or not. Like, that's pretty much the only place in our city that's supplying us with a huge stockpile of sick people, like, all the time. And so that's the part that worries me. So we're getting 70-something food every single day. We need to know if that's going to turn out to be a surplus before I start spending. I think we're going to end up with a lot of food. I just don't know, though. They're waiting at their newest location. We've got wood, food rations, steam cores. The hole in the snow cliff leads to a small chamber. Somebody lives here, but the lonely human figure we saw from afar has disappeared. It might be the only survivor of Winterhome. Okay, the man we've seen from afar was nowhere to be found. Searching his burrow, we found the diary of a scientist who fled Winterhome. After starving city fell to chaos, its leader, an army captain, appointed himself absolute ruler. He tried to impose order by using force. Plenty of people disgruntled departed the city, and most of the others rebelled against him. I got the shrouded cave right there, so they're going to bring back some wood, some food, and some other stuff. We've got an inhabited cave on this side. I'd like to keep them out and about and doing their thing. Yeah, keep the scouts moving. We'll bring them back to the city when we absolutely need them. We've got 1 day left until this big temperature surge hits us, and I'll show you how we're going to get through that. We've prepared adequately for it. We've prepared adequately. I'm going to go ahead and get advanced heaters as well, which will help out a little bit with what's coming. It won't fix the issue entirely, but it'll help out a little bit. For right now, let's wait for wood to get developed. Change of heart. Sir, a man was found crying silently in the temple. We approached him to ask if he needed help, and he told us he wanted to see you. I thought my faith died long ago, sir, with my wife and daughters in London. I couldn't see any purpose in this new life, in the fight for survival. But today, when I entered the temple, I saw a future for us, and now I'm ready to face it. Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. People can derive hope from interesting things sometimes. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to dump a little bit of this. And in dumping some of those supplies into upgrading our bunkhouses, my hope is that we'll do a little bit better when the inevitable heat surge or cold surge comes through. We have time for another law. My next suggestion would be that we go with righteous denunciation, as the duty of the faithful to denounce wickedness is a sign that compassion will bring wicked to the light. So there it is. The captain will be informed of anything and anyone that poses a threat to our city. That's given us a new ability, I think, where we can do righteous denunciation. It might be only from the peacekeepers, though. I don't know. Let's push that up a little bit right there. I want to keep that ability ready to rock wherever I can. So the houses are back up. The discontent that you were seeing right there was from the houses. And so, you know, it happens from time to time. Time after time. Let's go ahead and drop in a few more bunkhouses to keep people nice and temperate. And as soon as this event goes through right here, the temple has influenced people to mend their ways. Good. Mend the hell out of your ways, sinners. Come forth and bask and warm yourselves in the Emperor's light, or burn in it. This is quickly becoming a Warhammer 40k style cult. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So they've got level 2 heaters over here. It's still not helping. Good lord, it's gonna be cold as hell over here. It's gonna be cold as hell. The cave is a hideout for some children who were evacuated from winter home. There are no adult survivors here. Let's talk to the kids and take them to safety. We talked to the children in the hideout. They said that one night their teachers and some hunters took them out of winter home on a secret adventure. The teachers told them that they were going to stay here for a while. When food ran low, their guardians went back to get more and never returned. It seems the kids were evacuated in time before things in their city got very ugly. Yeah, send them. Let's bring them back to the city. It's more mouths to feed, but we formed the children into an orderly column and set off towards the city. They walk quietly and resolutely like little adults, the youngest clutching their toys tightly. This is going to be a long journey. Please have enough warm beds prepared for their arrival. Jesus Christ, man. That's a rough line right there. I can't imagine. Can you imagine being the scouts that found just like a cave full of children who all their parents, everyone they know is dead, and all they've been doing is sitting in the cave silently starving and playing with their toys? Like, holy shit, man. What a hit. I don't know, dude. I got a soft spot for children. I really sincerely do. Kids should be allowed to be children and grow up and, you know, not suffer. Because, like, someday they're going to be adults. And adult life is not fun. And adult life is not fair. And I feel like that brief respite you get as a small child, you know, for 20 years or so, when you're growing up or whatever, what we need to do right now is kick this into overdrive for 2 days. Putting it on overdrive, what's going to happen is that's going to go up if it hits 100, the generator explodes and we lose the game. But there's no RNG involved. It does what it does, and you just got to kind of push your way through. Looks like we're doing well right now, but yeah, man, I don't know. Kids should be allowed to be kids for a little while. They should be allowed to not have any responsibilities and not have any cares. And for kids to be subjected to shit like this will be really, really rough to bear witness to. Captain, a woman has revealed that she knows where some of the Londoners gather. We will act upon this information. So we lost 5 Londoners right there. Good. How long do we have left on this event? 9 days. We got plenty of time to mop them up. It'll be okay. We got this. The things that we can build for right now. It's going to get chilly in some of these outlying areas. It really sincerely is. It's going to get real, real chilly, but can't change anything about that right now. We are going to end up with some sick. We are going to end up with some people that are a little messed up. As far as industry goes, I'm going to suggest we get the Outpost Depot about as soon as possible. It's a very, very good upgrade, and not getting it is going to affect the outcome of your playthrough. I can promise you of that. It's going to affect it. The generator is burning up pretty nasty right now. I was hoping that it would last a little bit longer, but I can't change that around too much. One of the big things we'll want to do is get the bunkhouses installed before this whole situation falls apart on us. That's going to give us a lot of homeless, but they should be able to mash out those buildings really, really soon. We are going to get some discontent from that. It's okay. We got to develop this into a real city right now where people have shelter over their heads. That extra level is going to help out a ton once this thing maxes out. So let's go ahead and we are going to kick the Jenny off. People are going to be upset with us, but I can't change that for right now. They're all on chili. This is going to go down by 3, though, really, really soon, and we're going to need to have level 3 coal before then. We don't have a choice in that regard. We have to have level 3 coal by then. So let's let this cool off for a little while. We've got 1 day left. We are going to end up with some ill, and we are going to end up with some sick, but it's going to be okay. Let's establish the Faith Keepers. Yeah, let's go ahead and establish the Faith Keepers now. We are going to have to build a Faith Keepers temple pretty soon, but it'll be alright. Alright. It's gonna be alright. Let's raise our hope up one more time using our special ability over there. Anything that doesn't cost me food is okay by me. Just trying to squeeze it in where I can. It's chilly. It is very, very cold right now. Let's go ahead and kick on heaters in the workplaces so that people don't get sick, because yeah, it looks like people are getting sick right now. Oh, never mind. That was my shovelers over here. I was trying to look at my mines. We haven't lost anybody in the mines yet. We've got plenty of a surplus of coal to make that happen. So we'll just push it for right now. We'll try to keep all the workplaces nice and warm, even if they're inside of a radius of a other place. Yikes. Discontent is way up on account of the cold. I can't change that for right now. We're done with the outpost depot, which is great. And the next thing we're going to want to get into is... let's go... food, health, and shelter. Got healthcare insulation, cookhouse insulation. Got the hothouse over there. We've got hunter's gear, which makes them more effective. And I just never researched that. Given the present situation that our food is in, it might be a really good idea to make our hunters a tad more efficient. The scouts have returned. There's a bunch of coal to max us on out. We got a bunch of food, a little bit of wood to help out with what we've got going on right now. This is going to be the time where we want to OHK. We're going to want to OHK all the rest of our bunkhouses to make that happen. We also have a bunch more houses that we need to build right now too. And so if I can't fit that in right there, we'll start putting these in other localities. Oh, we actually ran out of steel. Ain't that a bummer? Okay, so these guys are set up. We could go further out over this way, but I mean, it's going to take them like 3 days to get over there. Just send them over to the American camp real fast. They brought back 4 steam cores. That gives us a unique opportunity to fix some of our problems. We're a little bit cold out here, and the amount of sick is going up right now. Let's see here. So a girl is asking to speak to you. She's crying and repeating that her mother is innocent. I lied to the cleric. I'm so sorry. I told him that my mom said that you've been a damn fool and will burn it in hell, but I was just mad at her. I made it all up. Please don't punish her. Go. And do not do this again. I'm not gonna punish a child. Like, the child caused problems. But I don't know. I think it's better to correct the child and tell them what they've done wrong and let them look. Obviously, she's seen the error of her ways. She's crying. She's upset about what she's done. She feels bad about it. There's no need to drive the point home. I believe that with children. I don't have kids of my own, but if I did, I don't believe in corporal punishment. I don't think it's necessary. You know, don't whip the kid or do anything like that. Just let the kid do their own thing, man. Like, as long as they've learned that what they've done is wrong, and that it hurt someone, and that it was not a good thing to do, you know, give them a pass, in my opinion. Give them a pass. She obviously feels remorse for what she's done, so there's no reason to go all ham on her and whip her in public or anything like that. We've got to establish the Faith Keepers pretty soon, but we're out of time for today here at the Nerd Castle. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Frostpunk. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for stopping on in. It's been a lot of fun. This series will be ongoing. I think this game is a lot of fun, and I love it. I think this game is really a blast. I think it's a really good game. And so I will see you all later. Thank you for stopping on in. How you do, everybody? Take care out there, and see y'all in the next episode. Don't forget to give this video a like if you've been enjoying this series, please. It helps out more than you know. How you do, everybody, and I'll see you later.